Imagine a typical canid for just a second. You probably think of a dog or wolf, right? As it turns out, there are about 35 species of canids in 13 genera. Some of the most well-known members of this family include domestic dogs, wolves, foxes, coyotes, dingoes, deerholes, and jackals. Canids are widely distributed, occurring on all continents except Antarctica. Within the order Carnivora, this group can be distinguished from others by their relatively large size, elongated rostrum with a well-developed skull, including dentition categorized by large canine teeth and a pronounced carnassial pair. This predatory genus feeds on other animals, from small rodents to large herbivores. Given the opportunity, they can also consume plant matter, making them facultative carnivores. They are top predators within the ecosystems they occupy. Their diversity enables them to dominate desert, forest, and mountain habitats. Canids vary widely in size. The smallest canid is the fennec fox at about 24 centimeters, 9.4 inches in length, and 0.6 kilograms, 1.3 pounds in weight. The northwestern wolf is the largest canid alive today, and their size doesn't come close to comparing with lions or tigers. They range between 79 and 159 pounds, 35 to 72 kilograms, and exceptionally large specimens have measured 175 pounds, 80 kilograms. Back in the day, there were these colossal dog-like creatures that basically outclassed a bunch of the mammals we see around today. But what happened to them? Why do they no longer exist? The story starts about 40 million years ago. Once upon a time, there were 3 little dogs, or to be more exact, there were 3 little dog-like animals. They comprised the family of animals known as Canidae. These 3 subfamilies or branches of Canidae were Hesperocyaninae, Borophaginae, and Caninae. From one of those subfamilies came the Epicyon haydeni and was the largest ever Borophaginae. In fact, it was the largest of any of the dog-like animals. The more famous direwolf, on the other hand, came from the subfamily of Caninae, the same subfamily as our modern wolves and dogs, and was the largest of that subfamily. But it wasn't anywhere near as big as Epicyon haydeni. Those guys weighed 320 pounds or more than twice the size of a modern wolf, Canis lupus. The direwolf was somewhere between these two in size. So that's the background. Now, why don't we still have these humongous animals on Earth? It's actually a bit ironic. These 3 subfamilies were all on Earth together at the same time and in the same places, namely North America. 3 branches of dog-like animals that nature and/or evolution was experimenting with, and may the best dog-like animal win. They originally were all about the same size, rather small, but after some millions of years, the Borophaginae and the Hesperocyaninae grew and surpassed the Caninae. Caninae remained small, so they kept hunting small prey, think modern-day fox. The other 2 started preying on larger, medium-sized animals. There were fewer medium to large prey animals around than small prey, so this put Borophaginae and the Hesperocyaninae in direct competition for a type of food, which there was less of. Meanwhile, our Caninae had plenty of small things to catch all to themselves. The Borophaginae were literally the bone crushers because of their crazy strong jaws and specialized molars suited to crushing bone. So, given that they made total use of their prey by eating not only the meat, but also all of the high-energy bone marrow, they began to outcompete the Hesperocyaninae, which didn't have those kinds of jaws or teeth. They were fighting over the same resources, the same prey, but the Borophs made much better use of what they caught nutritionally. The Borophaginae turned out to not only evolve faster, but they also were the more efficient hunters and eaters. So, the entire line of Hesperocyaninae died out because they were out-hunted over the same prey. That was the end of one of the subfamilies of dog-like animals, leaving only 2 branches to continue. Meanwhile, Caninae remained relatively small. Without the competition of the Hesperocyaninae, the Borophaginae continued to evolve, hunting larger and larger prey. to the point where they got so big and their teeth and jaws were so specialized that they could only hunt massive prey. This is where the Epicyon haydeni comes in. It evolved to absurdly large proportions. They were totally dependent on huge prey. Consider that tigers aren't very good at hunting rabbits or squirrel-type animals. These animals are too quick for the tiger's size and agility. It was the same with these guys, as they are even less agile. These enormous dog-like animals were not very good at hunting anything but giants, which was okay, because the canine ate the medium and small animals, and they ate the giant animals, which was cool until, and here is the irony, until Felidae came to the Americas about that time. Yes, it was the invasion of the cats. Up until that time, the dog-like animals had all the Americas to themselves. No pesky cats. Eventually, the huge cats were hunting and eating all the huge animals themselves, and poor Borophaginae, including Epicyon haydeni, got out-hunted, just as they had done to the Hesperocyaninae branch some few millions of years earlier. Karma will get you. Meanwhile, dire wolves and the rest of the Caninae branch were the sole surviving branch because they had kept growing also, but eventually they achieved the sweet spot as far as size. They were also more flexible and adaptable, being able to hunt many sizes of prey, given that they had taken up hunting in packs. They were quick enough to catch a mouse and cooperative enough to take down huge prey as well. They also had developed high endurance by this point, which Borophaginae didn't have. They were the last dog standing, because of the cats, who were much more efficient hunters than the giant dog-like animals they replaced in that niche. They were eating the same food, but the cats were better at it, because the cats were at the perfect size for maximum efficiency, and they had those specialized, sharp, retractable claws. Those particular dogs, the bone-crushing Borophaginae, which included the gigantic Epicyon haydeni, had overshot the mark. As far as the Epicyon haydeni, they were an experiment of a certain set of features that evolution produced, that kept getting more and more extreme until it passed the sweet spot, much like what happened to the saber-toothed cats like Smilodon fatalis. Those saber teeth kept growing and growing until they got too big to be practical. There were fewer and fewer animals they could eat because of their specialization, and therefore they all died out in the end. As far as dogs, our current canines are exactly the size they need to be, which happens to be much smaller than perfect-size felines. They aren't fully overlapped this way, and each eats mostly different-sized prey. So, the point is, it's not that dogs can't be giants like the cats. They can be. It's been tried. It's just that they won't survive very long that way, relatively speaking. Other animals are better hunters in that same ecological niche. The big dogs were an unsuccessful experiment. This is what happened to the prehistoric big dogs. They may have gotten away with it too, if only it wasn't for those darn cats. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. You can also leave a comment with what you would like to see in the following videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.